Thank you for tuning in to another edition of the Vulcan Report. This end of day report is for trading on Thursday, August the 10th, 2017. Jumping right into the thick of things. You see here the Dow came off pretty lovely today. All right. And not really as big as I thought it might be, but it did exactly what the analysis suggested. Excuse me. I did tell you about the trendline support, and we hit it right on the nose. We went to that 21,800 level that I was telling you about, 21,800. That's where we went, and now the market is starting to try to build some support here to rally. It's possible we could see maybe another run down here, continuation pattern, and then probably turn up. Just remember tomorrow is Friday, so it is Take Back Friday, and it will probably be in full effect. All right, and you cannot ignore the big rampage that's coming. I've said it before, and I'll keep saying it again. We have a short-term top. Every short-term top has been bought in this rally. Please keep in mind that I do not believe we have seen the highs in these markets. I think this is what I was telling everybody it was back in 2012, early 2012, and also back in throughout 2013. I warned that there were factions fighting back then, and that the powers that be that were looking like they were going to win were those that wanted to create a new super bull market. And here we are several years later, and you've seen that this has manifested itself. So we are well into now the beginning. We've got past the beginning stages of the new super bull market. And I think it's just begun. I still don't think we've seen anywhere near the highs yet. Now that the NASDAQ is participating after it broke 5,000, we're off to the races. It should be noted that any disturbance to this rally, all right, man-made or otherwise, the market has so much energy built into it that it can sustain a very powerful pullback. The NASDAQ 100 can fall 700 points and still maintain a strong bullish momentum. The S&P 500 can fall back 400 points and still be in a powerful momentum cycle. The Russell has about roughly 200 to 300 points in it. And the Dow, the mighty Dow, has 12,000 points of stimulus built into it. That's a super stimulus. I laugh every time I think about it. When we talked about it over a decade ago, actually going on 2 decades now. Has it been 2 decades? Yeah, going on 2 decades. When they first started this whole stimulus thing, lowering interest rates, tweaking things, we'd laugh about it. But we didn't ever imagine in our wildest dreams that this market would do what it's doing and has done and will continue to do. It just wasn't in our imagination. And it just goes to show you that, failure of imagination sometimes is what gets people into trouble. But here we are. The market has done above and beyond what we could even imagine. And this is only the beginning. So where do we go from here? I believe that when the dust settles, this market is going to rip higher, much higher. So we're going to watch it over the next couple of days and see how we go. So on the daily, what do we need to see? We need to see a close above 21,921 tomorrow. That would put an end to the downtrend. A close below it opens up the floodgates for more selling next week. On the weekly, we have more wiggle room. We just need a close above 21,728. The market can maintain that. It can carry over some bullish momentum into next week. So this is how this plays out. If you fail on the daily, but win it on the weekly, what happens is you'll see a little bit more selling, maybe to start the week off, and then it bounces from there. Or it could do the inverse, and you'll have a bounce tomorrow and Monday, and then a continuation on the selling. So it's a tricky one, but we'll see. Got a little bit of wiggle room, about 150 points to play with. All right, let's take a look at gold real quick. All right, gold did exactly as I thought it was going to do as well. If you follow the last video, I gave you those price targets, and the market exceeded it. It did the 1300 a week in advance, a week early. So there's your gift. There's your present. All the market needs to do now is close above 1280.90 tomorrow, and we have more momentum to carry over into next week. Being at tomorrow's Take Back Friday, we'll see what happens. Let me show you though on the weekly bigger picture here. You can see that we are very well now into the upper end of the range. If this were to close where it is now, it opens up huge momentum for next week. But the week's not over with yet. We still have one more day of trading to go. Can this market survive a possible smash from the central banks? We shall see. Right now it's looking good though. But we've been here before. We've been here before. We've been here before. Is this third time going to be the charm? All right. We were here before. We were here before. Now here we are again. Here we go again. Are we going to triple top or not? To triple top or not? That is the question. Failure this time, though, we're going here for sure. If we fail this time, this is where we're going, folks. Say hello to 1150. All right, this is where we're going. Failure this time will be huge. The first failure you got here. The second failure you got here. The third failure, you're going here. All right, this is where you're going. Is that what we're going to see? Or are we going to see something else? All I know is I'm glad I got the pulse waves. Without it, I wouldn't know jack. I wouldn't know which way to play it or how to play it. But I got the pulse wave price triggers, so I will know exactly where to put my entries and exits, and I love it. On another note, if you did not prosper from today's slide in the indexes, come on over to PulseWaveTrading.com. We'll get you hooked up. All right, looking at silver. Nice run here. Finally got some momentum moving. Got up here to the longer term trend line resistance. Can it close above $16.49 tomorrow? Can it do it? If it does, then it's going to open up the top of the Kumo cloud, and that's around $18. Let's look at the daily though. Let's see if we can break this down into little pieces. What do we need on the daily? What we need on the daily tomorrow is a close above $16.82. All right, so it's a little bit tighter on the daily than it is on the weekly. The weekly is a little bit more forgiving, but that daily is not. Okay, so this is what we need. We need to see if we can maintain this level of enthusiasm for tomorrow. It should also be noted that the coinage, speaking of Bitcoin here, at 3,400 is pretty powerful. All right. Now, as I'm doing this video, we're at 34.47, the high of the day, high of the session. Let's see. Nope, we pulled back. Okay, we're at 34.35.77. Okay, but it hit 34.47.48 today, so mad powerful. All right, can't deny that. And we're seeing the spillover in the GBTC up $40 today. GBTC up $40 today. And there you have it. I did tell you that it was gunning for this here, the 565 high. We got up today to 563 and closed at 560. All right. This is a new high close, and we still haven't filled the gap yet. That is problematic. You're going to want that gap to be filled, folks. Market needs to close above 517.23 tomorrow, or we're probably going to go ahead and fill that gap and probably overshoot the gap and get down toward the trend line here of 458.90. So we'll watch and see. This is interesting. But that gap is concerning. You can't front on the gap. All right, let's look at the NASDAQ real quick. Okay, so the NASDAQ here violated the trend line. All right, closed below it, and we're below it now. Got a little bit of wedge space in here, but then you got this ramp coming. So the NASDAQ is interesting because it's been pretty powerful. It's been pretty mighty, and it hasn't stopped yet. So until now. Now, the carnage on the NASDAQ, I have to say, is a little bit more telling than what happened on the Dow. The Dow was a little different, if you recall. So what does the NASDAQ need? The NASDAQ's going to have to pretty much erase most of today's gains in order to carry over some positive momentum into next week. It needs to close above 58.48 3/4 tomorrow, or it's going to probably fall precipitously below the Kumo cloud, and that could really open up the floodgates. Taking a look at the Russell's already in free fall, okay? It's falling at incredible velocity, and it's leading the way down. It should be noted that the other stock indexes have not fallen as much as the Russell has as of yet. So I'm anticipating that it's going to be only a matter of a couple of days before the other indexes catch up to what's been happening here in the Russell, because the Russell is what's leading the way right now. So yeah, we have a short-term top in the stock market. I did tell you that. So it's been in that process, just as I told you that it would be. All right, I told you by July the 31st, somewhere around there, give or take a few days, and that's exactly what happened. All right, it topped out early here on the XIV, and then we proceeded to roll over. Now, this is really amazing technical damage on the XIV. We cannot get away from the technical damage on the XIV on the daily chart. This is major technical damage, folks. All right, it pulled away from the trend. And technically speaking, what the price is now, the price is leading the trend lines into a bear market right now. So this is pretty powerful, to say the least. We can't get away from that. We can't ignore that. Also, if you look here on the weekly, which I'll pull up now, there's also technical damage being done on the weekly chart. So these are really serious right now. All right, you overshot the first trend line support of $81.23. Now it's gunning for that $64.70 target that I told you about. Now we've been here before. We got here back in on April the 10th and recovered nicely. But afterwards, though, it still came down. See how it did this? Filled this gap here. Then a few weeks later, you got another spike down again. So this one has been hitting spikes on the way up. Okay, so at some point, we're going to have to come down here to about here. So I'm going to put the correction just about where the trend line is. 64.70 is probably where this is going to stop before it turns. So we're going to have to keep that in mind going forward. And this is on the weekly. So this has lost all momentum on the daily and weekly chart. It would take a lot of buying to turn the tide on this. So further, the XIV is showing further downside to come in the stock indexes, regardless of the complexion of the previous charts that you looked at. So where does that put like people like NVIDIA? Well, let's see. NVIDIA got the benefit of the Bitcoin, okay? You can see here, it's correcting a little bit, but it's still okay. 163.47, if it can stay above that tomorrow, it carries over positive momentum for next week. So NVIDIA coming down $7 today on the close is actually on sale, all right? So this is giving you a chance to do a little something in NVIDIA. Now, the only thing is, though, you're down here by the trend line. Yes, you've been here before, but because of the velocity of this one, you're probably going to want to see how this plays out. All right. Now, those of you who followed me for a long time, you know my position on volume. I've done enough videos in the past explaining the volume situation. But on this one, we're going to use this example just to show you a little something. The last one here was on pretty decent volume, right? But look at this one though. This is a lot more. All right. So what do we have? We don't know yet. All right, because I can't go by this. This doesn't necessarily mean nothing to me. When you see it though, it gives you a little bit of red flags going up, but I have to run the numbers and see what's up. I'll take a look and see what the algorithms have to say. See if there's any trickery going on, because you can be deceived by this. You can think, this is mad selling coming, but look, what did you think back here? You thought the same thing back here, didn't you? You had the same amount of intensity and volume, but you didn't get a bar like this, but you still had this volume. And what did you get? Rallies afterwards. So this is interesting. That's all I got to say. I just wanted to show you guys this. You can't always go by what you see on the charts. That's why I love the algorithms, because there's billions of bits of data that is being crunched and examined that a chart just can't do, and that you just can't do with your naked eye either. So it's all about the price, you guys. All about the price. All right. With that being said, I did go ahead and put together in one file this time the documentary. There is no collapse, so it's all one file. It's a big file. It's 5 hours long, but it's the whole thing in its entirety. So for those of you who missed it, you don't have to try to search for it now. I just re-uploaded it, and I'm gonna be reorganizing the YouTube channel so that the certain prominent videos are easier to find. I mean, you got hundreds and hundreds of videos. It can be hard to find stuff. So I'm going to be trying to reorganize things and fix that up so you can find everything you need to find. And there is no collapse series for those of you who are new to the channel or don't know what I'm talking about. That was done some time ago, and it was done in parts. So I decided to go ahead and just put all those together now so you can have it in one piece. And That series was done last year, by the way. So there's a lot of prophetic information in there that has come to pass, this year. So, that was not happening or haven't happened yet back then. So pretty powerful stuff. Anyway, with that being said, if you didn't make money today in this sell-off, shame on you. If you didn't make money when gold and silver broke out, shame on you. If you didn't make money in the cryptocurrency space, shame on you. You need to come over to pulsewavetrading.com so you can learn how to do this, okay? Also, we just added Dash and Ripple today. I'm diligently trying to find others to add, but it is proven to be quite the challenge because not all the data that I need in the way that I need to access the data is available. I know there's almost 1,000 different cryptos, and I can't possibly get them all. All right. I'm going to be very limited on how many I can get, but right now, the ones that I have currently, excuse me, is what I'm working with. So as time, moves on and I'm able to get more stuff, then I'll get it. But for right now, I have Bitcoin, Dash, Ethereum, Litecoin, Steam, Veritasium, and Ripple. All right. So that's 2, 4, 6. We got 7. So we have 7 cryptos right now, 7 coins that we're dealing with right now. And I'll add more as I can. But for those of you in the Black Ops trading room, you will see, I should say, you should see Dash and Ripple on tonight's price triggers. Okay. So anyway, with that being said, remember bulls make money, bears make money, and pigs get slaughtered. So remember to take what you can and give nothing back to these greedy central banksters. 1,800. That's where we went. And now the market is starting to try to build some support here to rally. It's possible you could see maybe another run down here, continuation pattern, and then probably turn up. Just remember tomorrow is Friday, so it is Take Back Friday, and it will probably be in full effect. All right, and you cannot ignore the big rampage that's coming. I've said it before, and I'll keep saying it again. We have a short-term top. Every short-term top has been bought in this rally. Please keep in mind that I do not believe we have seen the beginning. We've got past the beginning stages of the new super bull market. And I think it's just begun. I still don't think we've seen anywhere near the highs yet. Now that the NASDAQ is participating after it broke 5,000, we're off to the races. It should be noted that any disturbance to this rally, all right, man-made or otherwise, the market has so much energy built into it that it can sustain a very powerful pullback. The NASDAQ 100 can fall 700 points and still highs in these markets. I think this is what I was telling everybody it was back in 2012, early 2012, and also back in throughout 2013. I warned that there were factions fighting back then, and that the powers that be that were looking like they were going to win were those that wanted to create a new super bull market. And here we are several years later, and you've seen that this has manifested itself. So we are well into now. Thank you for tuning in to another edition of the Vulcan Report. This end of day report is for trading on Thursday, August the 10th, 2017. Jumping right into the thick of things. You see here the Dow came off pretty lovely today. All right. And not really as big as I thought it might be, but it did exactly what the analysis suggested. Excuse me. I did tell you about the trendline support, and we hit it right on the nose. We went to that 21,800 level that I was telling you about, 21, maintain a strong bullish momentum. The S&P 500 can fall back 400 points and still be in a powerful momentum cycle. The Russell has about roughly 200 to 300 points in it. And the Dow, the mighty Dow, has 12,000 points of stimulus built into it. That's a super, super stimulus. I laugh every time I think about it.